Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Right.
So I know we had two people say what methods they wanted to do. I can do whatever. If Raysham, are you the one who, have you picked one yet?
So yeah, I was looking over the list and I just thought, just naturally, I'm a brain dumper, which I thought was kind of cool because I didn't know there was a word for it. But essentially, you just kind of bring your own ideas to the brainstorm versus trying to just think out loud together. And I just thought that I do that all the time with all of my many ideas, as Rachel can attest to in the office. So I was like, yeah, that would be easier for me to jump in on.
Perfect. Okay, then I will do. Let me look at some of the other ones. Some of them.
And I believe in our journal 4 that we all write each other's down. We write all 4, correct?
Okay, let me go look.
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick because I'm not sure.
Because it says, for each team member's point of view Mad Lib, you will use a different ideation technique to start by picking them out. Each team member will then take turns debuting their point of view. Following the debut, the team will use the chosen ideation technique to come up with 3 technology-driven solutions that address that point of view.
Okay, awesome.
And then it says, each team member should upload that video to their YouTube playlist, and each team member should add their 3 solutions to the Capstone journal. Okay, so it's just our solutions for our point of view that you guys helped come up. Okay, so I'm glad we talked about this because I was like, should I write everyone's down even though I'm not working on that? Okay.
We could also throw it in the Zoom chat too. Our individual.
That's a good idea.
POVs, just so we can see it. I think it might help if I can just see it written somewhere.
Okay, good idea. Let me copy mine.
If I did mine wrong, just don't laugh at me, okay?
No,
No, I'm
No
sure it's
promises.
fine.
likely we've all done that.
No promises.
Okay.
Just for you though. Just for you though. Okay.
Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna do the challenge assumptions one.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll redrop in that paragraph to our chat because I doubt that everyone knows that off the top of their head.
Okay. I went ahead and dropped my Mad Lib in there, and I was gonna do the worst possible idea that we can kind of all come up with a nice one.
Cool. And I was thinking about doing the mind mapping one.
Okay, so who wants to go first? Because I know that well, Rayshon, did you want to go first since you mentioned your technique first? And I can delete my thing and then we can just put yours up first. Let's do that.
So, because I'm always confused. So I'm sharing mine, and are y'all supposed to, I guess, give ideas or solutions for mine, or I'm just presenting? Like, I can go
Okay,
first.
so I think you did,
Brain dump.
yeah, you did brain dump. So yeah, so I think what's going to happen is you share with us your point of view, you tell us your ideas, and then as a collective, we come up with a technology idea for you that kind of sums up with your ideas.
Okay. Let me copy and paste my stuff in the.
Wait, okay, so with brain dump, do we all ideate on his POV and then come back together and share?
No, that's a brainstorm. Brain dump is Rayshon came up with all these ideas. So out of his ideas, we talk together and we figure out which one could kind of work based on a technology.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it said the little blurb for it says the participants write down their ideas on Post-it notes and share the ideas after ideating.
Oh,
But then what's brainstorm? Oh, that's when you all do it together. I think this everyone does it separate and then comes together.
okay.
So yeah,
So
I
then-
wasn't sure if we're supposed to brain dump together or if I'm just presenting my brain dump.
Well, based on what Macy said, I believe I believe you would share your point of view, and then give us some time to kind of come up with some ideas, and then we all brain dump together, right?
I think so. I wish kind of that Jake could be with us for this, like the earlier
I
one.
know.
I have no idea.
Okay, so let's go with the first thing where you're presenting to us, Rayshon.
Okay. So I was gonna say someone else can go first if y'all want to, because I was just confused.
I mean, I'm fine going first and us all talking about the worst possible idea and us coming together. I don't care about that. Because worst possible idea kind of shakes us where we're just, the self-consciousness and stuff is kind of gone. Do you want to do that to maybe that will help you?
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay, so let me do it again. Okay. Boom.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna be honest, I don't know if I did this fully correct, kind of like what we were talking about. So I put, a Christian woman wants to share the good news and faith to as many people as possible, but doesn't know how. She's looking for ways to extend her faith and share the gospels beyond her social media platforms, but doesn't know the resources or technology that is available for her to do so. So a worst possible idea, she could create flyers and hand out to everyone she sees. Or I wrote down a few, or she could literally build a chat bot, but not know where to put the chat bot and has answers to questions about faith. She could create a website, but not know how to promote it and not know what to put on it.
My first thought of like the worst idea would be like she created a YouTube channel, but like, the production quality is bad and she's just kind of talking crazy and not necessarily like there's no strategy behind it. Just like, one of those people that is like on live, like on YouTube live or something, and just, just
That's hilarious.
Just talking.
Ooh, I've got a bad one. They talk about separation of church and state. She could bring it to a government advocacy group and share her good news in that.
That's pretty bad.
Because I know based on these worst possible ideas, there's one that's trickled in that should be a good one. Like, I don't think a YouTube channel is bad. I just think it needs
like to be used correctly.
And then for the content to be correct.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I could put YouTube as starts a YouTube channel. Okay.
My worst possible idea for this is probably like sharing like Bible verses on like Minion memes or something. So like creating really awful like deep fried memes.
I've seen those.
Honestly, though, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. So you said, okay.
She could like journal it. That would be not shareable, but
yeah.
But that would be like a good bad idea because like she could like create a blog.
That's true. Well, okay, that's another. So that's okay. Yeah, she could create a blog.
She can make it her bio on a dating website. I've got plenty of bad ideas.
Or she could make her whole dating persona like a scam, and she's just trying to
just to share the news.
Yeah, like just
yikes, like a scammer.
Yeah, just swiping right on everybody just so you can match and
And then say,
Like-
hi, hey, have you heard? That's hilarious. I kind of want to do that. That'd be so funny.
Catfish people into.
Yeah. Yeah. That's catfishing would be funny. Catfishing would be certainly be funny. So I have start a YouTube channel, create a blog. I guess anything in the podcast world, like, yeah. I mean, she'd have to.
she could make a podcast, but only interview people who are like non-believers
That's what I was
to
thinking.
try to like try to convert
Conversion
them.
podcast.
To try and change them, and then it's like this goes by. This is really bad. That would be funny.
I like the catfish idea. I thought that would be pretty funny.
What if she could go on a different religions dating website and catfish there and try and convert them? There's a pretty good idea in that, I guess, because like if you make that bad idea a good one, like sharing her beliefs in a non-religious barriered way.
Mhm.
Right, but with what platform? Like with what technology?
Mm. She could like create like not a support group, but she could create like a group where people from her beliefs and similar beliefs or different beliefs could network and post
Yeah, I
normal
like that.
things,
Like a networking like website.
I guess. Or app, like a messenger.
Okay, yeah, an app,
Ah.
mobile. Okay, so
Sorry.
I've starts a YouTube channel as one of them because we have to come up with 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Starts a YouTube channel, creates a blog, and then creates a mobile app creates a mobile app that connects other religions to learn more about Christianity. Yeah?
I like those.
Okay. So then those, okay, cool. All right. Who's next?
I can go next.
Okay.
Okay. So for my POV, I wanted to touch on media literacy because I think that's, like a really big like issue just happening, especially with in our country with misinformation, disinformation, especially, and didn't mean to target older folks, but typically older Americans are the ones that kind of will believe like any links or headlines that they see, or just,
Yeah.
Mhm.
they don't always notice the difference from like ABC News from ABC 123 Go News or whatever,
Mhm.
So I guess for my 3 ideas for my brain dumping, the first was like infographics. So kind of just the traditional, just like, hey, be mindful of what you see and come up with different
Yeah.
versions of that can be shared on social or printed, blah, blah, blah. The second idea was to talk about it from like a podcast perspective or like from a YouTube perspective, just to kind of raise awareness. The third one, I guess it's not really an original idea, but I've noticed with like Facebook and Twitter, when like links are shared, they'll give that little disclaimer like, hey, before you share, like, want to read the article first, or did you read it? And Twitter actually has started doing like fact checking. So they'll have, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but like for certain things that people will say, if it is counted or reported as disinformation, they'll actually have someone give like the facts underneath. So that way.
Oh, wow.
And so somehow maybe doing that for like all platforms is kind of like my idea, to kind of take Twitter's idea and put that everywhere, where like, hey, many people have noted that this is, not true, and this is the actual correct fact, sort of deal.
I like that. I like that approach a lot. But then again, I'm thinking back to where you're saying not to target older people, but those are typically the ones that fall victim, and a lot of them are through Facebook. I agree with like the infographics, like, hey, are you sure what you're reading is true? Because these sites are not necessarily reputable and that kind of thing. I like that too. And it's really simple, and it kind of catches the eye, and it's kind of easy for an older audience to engage with. Because we have to think about, kind of like as our chapters are reading and stuff, like not everyone has the same skill set with technology. So I really like the infographics. I think if that's your target audience, I think that might work better. You might get more engagement with it. But that's just my thoughts. I don't know if you two have any thoughts for it.
I have one. It kind of reminds me, what came to mind for me first was one of the projects I reviewed. I forget whose project it was, but it was kind of like a Chrome add-on where
Oh yeah,
it would like add things to their like shop for later, but maybe
the Revel one.
I know this is big picture and likely not super feasible, but maybe that like little add-on could like give a percentage of whether it thinks this is accurate or not, and
Oh, I love that idea.
something like that, or highlight things and be like, maybe
Yeah,
this,
like, this is not a reputable source. This has been shown in a few of specific articles or videos that this is misinformation. That's actually a really good idea, like a Google extension.
I'm writing this stuff down. I'm not ignoring
you could also too, I really liked what Rachel was saying about thinking about the mediums that most support your target audience. And I feel like Chrome extensions might be hard, but maybe if there was like an independent website or printout or some kind of PDF that you could give them to have like criteria to evaluate
Yeah.
reputability, or like things to look out for. And maybe that could be an infographic as well, but kind of a comprehensive like assistant.
Yeah, and yeah, I really like that. And building off of that, I'm almost like, what if you did some kind of, instead of just an infographic, like a PSA or video like campaign or something, since a lot of older folks, get their news from both Facebook and the cable news. So it could be like a PSA campaign that is both distributed on the TV as like ads, and that would be like an ad campaign on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and typically like a PSA like on the news sites, because that's probably what or the news station, because that's typically probably what they're watching.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts or ideas? I really like all of these.
No, I think those are really, really good.
Yeah, can you pull
Yeah.
out three that you like?
I think infographics, I think we all kind of agree that that was probably going to be the best one. And then the PSA one would be great. And then I think the social media disclaimers for older people, like as they're trying to share stuff, might be better, easier than a Google extension, because it takes a couple extra steps for those who aren't familiar with downloading, how to download a extension.
Mhm.
I think those will be my three.
Woohoo.
Who's next?
I can go next if you want, Macy, or do you want to go next?
Perfect. If you could go next, that'd be great, because I forgot to copy the description of what my
Okay, cool.
is.
Okay, so here is mine, and I don't know if I did it right. But yeah, so mine's that the average individual needs to be connected and informed with what steps they can take towards combating the climate crisis, because the scale of the crisis is massive and affects every single one of us. So my technique is mind mapping. And so I think the best way to do that, because I think that's like, you write the concept in the middle of a piece of paper and, write out ideas that support it, and then you connect them eventually. So I just created a big jam file. So let me copy that. And let's see, what's the best way to do it? Because I could share my screen and then write stuff. Like we can all kind of like,
Yeah, let's share your screen. and
let's
we can all
do
see
that.
it.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Let's see. Okay, ignore how I have 50,000 tabs open.
You and me both.
All right. So I have that in the middle, and I can create little bubbles around it.
Oh, fun.
So let's see, I'll do a different color for the bubbles.
Oh.
So to get us started, I was thinking like my first thought was creating a website, like just a simple website with resources for that can, people can connect with resources like locally and nationally, or internationally, depending on where they are, and kind of just use that as a starting point for, okay, how do I get involved? Let me get connected with these resources.
Yeah.
So website. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I don't know if my concept is like too broad or.
No, I think that's what the mind mapping will probably help.
Yeah.
One thing that stood out to me with that is like location dependent. So maybe like if you were to have your location as part of it, you could see specifically like how your area is doing too, with like different pieces of data.
I like that. So climate data,
Yeah, like what if you
like
had,
for your specific area.
Mhm.
yeah, like building off of that, like, I mean, I don't know how many of us on our, I mean, I do a lot. Like if you pulled up your weather app on your phone and some kind of like disclaimers or a banner that recognized your location, like building off of Macy's, said, hey, you're in this percentage of climate change, interested to help? And you can click on it and it gives you the resources available for their specific area. Because I do like the location based, because not everyone
that.
is the same.
Mhm. And maybe similarly, location wise towards action, like it could maybe have what nonprofits in that area are currently doing things. See if like maybe you'd want to volunteer.
Yeah, I like that. Connect with your local nonprofits.
Yeah, that's
Something
kind
like
of
that.
what I was thinking, in terms of like connecting with resources, was connecting specifically like with volunteer opportunities and stuff. But yeah, good
Mhm.
nonprofit
Mhm.
area.
Another idea that I thought of, kind of going off of the website, what if you were able to find those like social media influencers and those who care about the same cause, and like generating a feed on the website to be like, hey, you can meet Ray Sean at this event because I'll be, that sort of thing. Like, hey, if you follow these people, you're probably fans of them, and this is opportunities to kind of connect with them as well on the same causes.
I like that.
Yeah, and that reminded me of like the new Instagram feature where like you're like blah 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 posted with, like it could also tag back to kind of branded
Oh
content.
yeah, the collaboration or the collaborators.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That will help direct traffic back to your brand and maybe a website that's linked in your bio or something like that.
Yeah, so it'll say like a famous person and so posted this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that.
I don't know if this will fall directly on this map, but on social or on TikTok specifically, there's this guy that likes to share like good news when it comes to like climate change, like all the efforts that have been made in like, oh, in South America, in Brazil, they're starting to do this cool thing. And hopefully with funding, it will, spread to other parts of the continent and maybe the US. Like, and I follow him, and I
Mhm.
found that to be like encouraging. So just to kind of balance out, like the world is on fire, but also like, hey, this is some others, like this is some good news to kind of, make you feel good about like this endangered animal not being, as endangered, or they're coming back, that sort of thing.
Right. Like it's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
So it's like the things that we are doing are helping. Like, it's not all futile. So
Yeah, like kind of targeting a different emotion of like fear, but also like hope, like, hey, help us out because we're, making this positive change.
I really like that, Rayshawn.
yeah.
I'm on TikTok way too much, so
Same.
Yeah.
I'll just put TikTok in parentheses too. um so like in terms of all of this, like what would be the main like technology platforms? Like, so we mentioned, website, we mentioned TikTok, weather app.
Mhm,
So I guess we do have 3.
mhm.
Yeah.
also just to kind of give you back your idea, maybe a PSA campaign could also be good for this cause as well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true too. I mean, because it's a cause that,
Which I know that I've seen actually, at least on my targeted ads on like Hulu and stuff. Like, I don't know if you've seen like, it's like Science Moms or something has this like ad campaign about climate change. So yeah. Okay.
does that help? I think we gave you 3.
Yes, I
Okay.
think so. So I think we have it. So I guess that's
Okay.
all we need to do for this, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh. Go Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. I just sent mine in. So my Mad Lib POV is that small business owners need to gain access to affordable and actionable data because it would help them make more informed decisions, enabling them to compete with larger companies that have a lot of like databases and resources towards that already. And the challenge assumptions method, I'll just read what it says. Take a step back from the challenge you're tackling and ask some important questions about the assumptions you have about the product, service, or situation where you're trying to innovate. It is particularly effective to challenge assumptions when you are stuck in current thinking paradigms or have run out of ideas. So rebooting, because I feel like my Mad Lib POV was pretty specific. So yeah, if anyone has any insights on how.
Okay. Small business owners need to gain access to affordable and actionable data. But they are competing with larger companies that have the actual resources and money to purchase that stuff.
Mhm.
So
So
how do
like
we do it?
basically, it's hard for like entrepreneurs or people just starting to be able to quantify how they're doing and what products would work and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So my first thing, because in my job, I do work heavily with data, is to maybe create, I hate to say a website because we all have been kind of talking about that, but like an informative website of the free software platforms that actually help regardless. Like Google Analytics is free. And then you have a few extensions on that. If they have, and this is just assumptions, if they have a project management system that they use to kind of manage what's going on, that has reporting in it inside itself as well. That's also something that they're just using their resource already. But I'm thinking like just something like informative to share, hey, I know that you're competing with these other companies, but there are free platforms out there. So whether that be like a website that kind of describes, hey, this stuff, just because you're small doesn't mean you can't be mighty, you know, something like that, and then kind of give and list those resources available. Because sometimes what I find when I'm doing the data stuff is that your data is already there, you're just not accessing it. It's already there for you. So it's just using kind of what you already have and expanding on it. So maybe this like an informative website of tools. Trying to also think.
Yeah, that was helpful. So I guess you were talking about assumptions you had, like that there were project management analytics. So if we stepped away from assumptions like that, what would that leave for data collection? I guess if we're doing the in person, like reaching out to people and getting
feedback like customer surveys. You could do, are you satisfied? Would you refer this product or whatever to your friends?
So would
what
you
would you like to see better? So like a satisfaction survey, maybe?
survey?
Trying to think what else. Take a step back from the challenge you're tackling and ask some important questions about what you have.
Yeah, like I guess one way to frame it would be like to step back even farther would be like, imagine there is no internet. Like, how is that done
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
previously?
Yeah, obviously, so obviously I definitely would go with the survey, because like that could be word of mouth.
Mhm.
Because and that's more it can be, that can be quantitative data, but it can also still be qualitative data, like,
Mhm.
hey, I didn't like that you guys put this on your product, like it made me feel mad or something, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Before, like, salespeople would see what did and didn't work when they were like trying to pitch a project. So like
Yeah.
acceptance in the
the
actual
acceptance rate,
selling
yeah.
product, and what they could do and change to get those sale rates to go up, maybe.
I keep thinking of solutions. I'm not really following directions here, so that's why I haven't said anything.
I know, same. It's like I'm having trouble challenging.
Are the characteristics we take for granted about these things really crucial aspects, or are they just so because we've all been accustomed to them?
I guess another assumption could be that the larger data rich companies are effectively using their data. Just
Right.
because they have,
Yeah.
I remember in the textbook, they were talking about like you could see quantitative data, but the qualitative data might give a different reason as to the why behind it. And maybe a way to compare to the bigger companies would be to consider the qualitative behind the quantitative. So if you started smaller, making those.
Yeah, so maybe that's reputation management. Like, how are you perceived from your customers? Because like, you know, a lot of that, like what you're saying, if they're really utilizing the larger companies, if they're really utilizing their data, then what are they using it for? Are they using it for their ROI? Like, do they want to just get high return on investment, and do they not care about the customers? But like smaller companies that you're saying, you know, specifically care about qualitative, like that would be reputation management. Like, hey, customer service.
Mhm. So maybe,
Which I would fall back on survey.
okay.
Because you're wanting to make sure the client is satisfied, and that kind of pulls in the data for you too.
Mhm.
Because
Maybe
you can ask
like
quantifiable stuff and qualitative stuff. Go ahead, sorry.
in terms of thinking of a solution from that, because I do need to come up with 3 solutions. So also share those if you have them too. But maybe like automating like a third party survey that goes along with small businesses product offerings, something in that realm.
Yeah, like if they have, like for example, if it's a small company that sells something, like, and they have a website that sells those products, like after you purchase it, or maybe after a week or so of purchasing, that customer sent an email that said, hey, do you like what you received? Hey, you know, let us know if you're satisfied. We would like to, you know, work it out if you're not.
Yeah. And I guess that gives it a personal touch too that larger companies might not have.
Right.
Or maybe show something that this data is being used positively and not against them or as making them a small statistic.
Right.
One solution that I thought of was maybe forming some sort of online group for small business owners, so that way they can share the data that they have with each other. So kind of going off of Rachel's idea where like, yep, our company did a survey. Oh, our company did a survey too, whether it's like a similar survey or completely different, like creating that small group. And it could be on social media, or it could be some other like virtual platform, so they can come together and kind of just network and share that.
Yeah.
I really like that idea.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And it's something that you could probably either do, like you could do like a local group or like a national group or whatever. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
another location tied type thing. Especially since, costs are going to be different in different places. But yeah, you could do like an app that like filters out stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, like a
By
small
lo-
business owner app or something connecting you with
Yeah,
your small
and if
business.
you could go into deeper further too, like the location, but also like the type of small business. Like, do you sell
Yeah.
like certain products? Like, what do you sell? So it can kind of get more into the niche of things.
Okay. And potentially too, like if in the spirit of helping each other out, which I really liked, they could potentially give outside input to other small business owners and help them collect data from them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's what I think of your business. What do you think of mine? Kind of a thing.
Mhm.
Awesome. So I have online web group with with location features. And then the website with opinion exchanges. And then, I think reputation management.
Mhm.
I really liked that, but does anyone have ideas on how to like make that involved in a tech product?
Or maybe make it a digital survey. I know we kind of talked about a survey, but have
Okay.
a digital survey based in reputation management.
Yeah, because we at Augusta University do a lot of digital surveys for us, and it actually helps curate some of our content.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Awesome. Okay. I think that gives me enough to have 3 ideas to work with.
Awesome.
Cool.
Sweet. That went well.
Yeah.
I
that was
think we
good.
did well. Okay.
Wait, was that all we needed to do?
I believe so.
I think so. And then put it into our little capstone journal.
Yeah.
Awesome. Also, you guys all had great ideas. I felt like mine was a little less helpful to the world.
No,
not at all.
I liked yours a lot too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, for real. I think this
Okay.
was good. Okay, so I guess at the end, when you guys get the recording, if you could just share it in our group, me and Rayshawn
Yes.
and Lillian, we can I know that Macy, you have one too. We could download it, we can just upload it, and then we should be done with this one.
We'll do. Yeah, mine should be in the cloud, so I should be able to
Cool.
share it easily. So we'll
Awesome.
see. Okay.
Awesome.
I guess I'll
Awesome.
go ahead and stop the recording.
All right.